We are counting down the 10 UK chocolate brands you need to know. 8. That could be ruining your sweet tooth with cheap ingredients, low cocoa content, and hidden additives, plus 2 that actually deliver real quality. From supermarket favorites that disguise sugar and artificial flavors under glossy packaging, to surprising entries from trusted names, this ranking will change the way you shop for chocolate. We will show the correct brand image on screen as each chocolate is discussed. Let us kick off with number 10. Number 10, Hotel Chocolat, a must-buy. Hotel Chocolat stands out as a rare example of a United Kingdom chocolate brand that does not hide behind vague labels or misleading marketing. Founded and headquartered in the United Kingdom, Hotel Chocolat has built its reputation on ingredient transparency and a commitment to cocoa quality. Most bars in their range list cocoa as the first ingredient, with cocoa percentages clearly printed on the front, often ranging from 40% in milk chocolate up to 80% in their dark bars. Instead of relying on cheaper vegetable fats or artificial flavorings, every bar uses pure cocoa butter, giving a smooth melt and a richer taste that is hard to find in mass-market brands. The absence of palm oil and the use of straightforward, recognizable ingredients set a high standard for what chocolate can be. Prices run higher than supermarket basics, but the price per gram often reflects the true cost of quality cocoa and careful sourcing, rather than fillers and shortcuts. For anyone looking to understand what good chocolate should look and taste like, Hotel Chocolate's bean-to-bar approach and honest labeling make it a benchmark for quality on United Kingdom shelves. Montezuma's brings a different energy to the UK chocolate scene. This independent craft maker operates out of West Sussex, focusing on single-origin cocoa and a philosophy that keeps things simple. Their bars typically list just 3 ingredients: cocoa mass, sugar, and cocoa butter. That's it. No hidden oils, no artificial flavors, no bulking agents. Some of their range is certified organic, and every bar comes with clear notes about the cocoa's country of origin, whether it is Peru, the Dominican Republic, or Ecuador. The cocoa content is not shy either, with options ranging from 54% in their milk chocolate up to 74% in their dark bars. Montezuma's stands out on UK shelves for its transparency and commitment to ethical sourcing, with packaging that spells out exactly what you are getting. You will find their bars in Waitrose, Sainsbury's, and independent shops, usually priced above supermarket-owned brands, but delivering a noticeably richer, more nuanced flavor. For anyone after a chocolate that is genuinely made in the UK and values purity over shortcuts, Montezuma's is a rare find that lives up to its label. M&S Swiss chocolate range arrives on shelves dressed for the part, sleek packaging, gold-embossed Swiss flags, and a name that promises alpine luxury. But a closer look at the ingredient panel reveals a different story. Despite its premium image, many bars in this range list sugar as the very first ingredient, not cocoa. The typical bar contains around 34 grams of sugar per 100 grams, while cocoa content often hovers at about 32%. For a chocolate marketed as Swiss and luxurious, those numbers fall short of expectations. True premium chocolates, like those from Hotel Chocolate, lead with cocoa and display their percentages up front. In contrast, the M&S Swiss range tucks its cocoa percentage further down the ingredients list, making it easy for shoppers to overlook. The taste reflects this formulation: sweet, with a one-note profile that lacks the depth and complexity found in higher cocoa bars. The branding leans heavily on Swiss heritage cues, but the reality is a product designed to appeal to the eye more than the palate. For shoppers seeking real chocolate richness, the M&S Swiss range often delivers more marketing than substance, an attractive wrapper for what is at its core a mid-range bar with a premium price tag. Aldi's Choceur range is a fixture in UK supermarket aisles, promising affordable chocolate that looks and sounds continental. On-screen show the Choceur packaging image. But a quick glance at the ingredient list tells a different story. Instead of pure cocoa butter, many bars rely on a blend of vegetable fats, and palm oil is a regular feature, often listed just after sugar. This is not about improving taste or texture, it is a cost-saving tactic that lets the brand hit low price points, especially as cocoa prices rise globally. The cocoa percentage hovers around 25%, which is noticeably lower than what you will find in most premium or even mid-tier options. To compensate, Choceur bars use generic flavorings that mask the lack of real cocoa depth. The result is a chocolate that melts quickly, but leaves a shallow, sometimes greasy mouthfeel and a flavor profile that rarely gets past basic sweetness. Unlike brands that highlight their cocoa origin and fat source, Choceur packaging keeps things vague, focusing on price and shelf appeal. For shoppers who care about what is actually in their chocolate, the heavy use of vegetable oils and artificial flavorings is hard to overlook. Aldi's private label approach might deliver on affordability, but it does so by cutting corners that are easy to taste. Number 6. Waitrose Essentials Chocolate. Show the Waitrose logo and the Essentials packaging. Waitrose has a reputation for quality, but their Essentials chocolate tells a different story. This is the supermarket's budget line, and the difference is clear as soon as you look at the label. Instead of the higher cocoa percentages found in their collection range, Essentials bars often hover in the mid-20% range for cocoa solids. That is a significant drop, especially for a brand known for premium groceries. The result is a bar that leans heavily on sugar to fill the flavor gap. Ingredient lists show sugar ahead of cocoa, and consumer reviews echo the experience. Many reviewers describe the taste as flat, with a sweetness that overwhelms any depth the chocolate might have had. One reviewer said it was just sweet, with none of the richness they expect from chocolate. Another called it one-dimensional, noting the lack of any real cocoa punch. The Essentials branding keeps things simple on the outside, but inside the chocolate feels engineered for cost rather than character. There is no hint of the nuanced flavors or smooth finish that set premium bars apart. Instead, you get a uniform sweetness that masks the absence of cocoa complexity. For shoppers who trust the Waitrose name to mean quality, the Essentials line is a reminder that even the most reputable supermarkets cut corners in their value ranges. The gap between the promise of the brand and the reality of the product is hard to ignore when the chocolate itself is so forgettable. Co-op own brand chocolate sits on the shelf promising a simple, affordable treat, but the real story is in the ingredient list. Instead of relying on cocoa butter for texture and richness, these bars turn to additives like E322, soy lecithin, and E476, a synthetic emulsifier called polyglycerol polyricinoleate, known as PGPR. These stabilizers are not there to boost flavor, they are designed to hold the bar together when cocoa butter is in short supply. By swapping out expensive cocoa butter for cheaper vegetable fats and loading up on emulsifiers, Co-op can cut costs and keep the chocolate looking smooth, even as the actual cocoa content drops. The result is a bar that feels engineered more than crafted. The texture holds up on a warm day, but at the expense of real chocolate melt. Taste testers often describe the experience as dull, with a muted cocoa note and a finish that fades fast. The additives extend shelf life and make mass production easier, but they also flatten the flavor and leave a coating on the palate that pure cocoa butter never would. For anyone expecting a rich, satisfying chocolate hit, Co-op's own brand delivers stability and savings, but not the depth or complexity that makes chocolate memorable. Sainsbury's Basics chocolate is hard to miss on the shelf. Its stark, no-frills packaging makes it clear this is the supermarket's lowest cost option. But that bargain price comes with trade-offs that show up right on the label. The first ingredient listed is sugar, followed closely by palm oil, and only then does cocoa powder appear. The cocoa solids content typically sits at just 17%, putting it among the lowest you will find in any chocolate bar sold in the UK. Instead of using cocoa butter, the Basics formula leans on vegetable fats to keep costs down, with palm oil often topping the list. This switch does not just save money, it changes the entire experience. Bars made this way melt quickly, but never deliver the satisfying richness you get from real cocoa butter. The flavor, too, is a giveaway. With so little cocoa, reviewers describe the taste as bland and artificial, with none of the depth or complexity you would expect from even a mid-tier chocolate. Instead, there is a one-dimensional sweetness that fades fast, leaving behind a faint oily note rather than any lingering chocolate. For anyone who has ever wondered why some chocolate just tastes flat, this is the reason. When the cocoa percentage drops and vegetable fats move in, you lose the character that makes chocolate worth eating. Sainsbury's Basics is designed to hit the lowest possible price point, but the result is a bar that sacrifices real flavor and quality for savings. For shoppers scanning ingredient lists, seeing cocoa solids down in the teens and palm oil near the top is a clear sign that quality has been pushed aside. Asda Smart Price chocolate is a fixture in the value aisle, but the numbers on the back tell a stark story. Each 100-gram bar lists 52 grams of sugar, over half the bar by weight, while cocoa solids sit at just 18%. That puts it among the low cocoa and high sugar ratios on UK supermarket shelves. The ingredient list reveals the formula. Sugar comes first, followed by vegetable fats, and only then cocoa powder. This is not just about sweetness. It is about what gets lost when cocoa is pushed so far down the recipe. Instead of the rounded bitterness or subtle fruit notes found in higher cocoa bars, what is left is a sharp, almost metallic aftertaste that lingers long after the initial hit of sugar fades. Taste testers often describe it as harsh. One consumer said it was like eating sweet dust. There is no chocolate, just a weird bitterness at the end. Nutrition panels make the imbalance plain. Compared to a premium bar, where cocoa content often starts at 40% and sugar rarely exceeds 30 grams per 100 grams, Asda Smart Price flips the script, maximizing sweetness and minimizing chocolate. This ultra-processed approach is designed to hit the lowest possible price point, but it comes at a cost. The taste is hollow, the aftertaste is bitter, and the experience is more about a sugar rush than chocolate satisfaction. For anyone who cares about what is in their treat, the Smart Price label is a warning sign. The high-sugar, low-cocoa formula is not just a budget compromise, it is a nutritional red flag and one of the clearest examples of how supermarket value chocolate can miss the mark. Morrisons Savers. Chocolate sits near the bottom of the supermarket chocolate ladder, and the reason is clear as soon as you check the ingredients. Instead of relying on cocoa butter, the fat that gives real chocolate its signature melt, these bars use palm kernel oil and glucose syrup. The cocoa powder content is just 16%, a number that puts it well below even the modest standards of mid-tier bars. This formula is not just about saving money on ingredients, it changes the entire eating experience. When you snap a piece, there is a dull break rather than the crisp, clean snap you get from chocolate made with proper cocoa butter. Take a bite, and the difference becomes even more obvious. The bar feels dense and slow to melt, leaving a thin, waxy film that coats the roof of your mouth. Testers often describe the sensation as oily, almost plasticky, rather than smooth or creamy. That waxiness comes from the palm kernel oil, which does not melt at body temperature the way cocoa butter does. Instead of dissolving cleanly, it lingers, dulling any cocoa notes and leaving a greasy aftertaste. The ingredient list tells the story: palm kernel oil, glucose syrup, minimal cocoa, and a handful of sweeteners. There is little room for real chocolate flavor. Consumer reviews echo the lab findings, with comments that it tastes like candle wax or that it leaves a film you cannot wash away with water. For a product that calls itself chocolate, the tactile letdown is hard to ignore. The bar's texture issues, combined with its heavy use of substitutes, land it just above the very worst on the list. For anyone who cares about how chocolate should feel in the mouth, Morrisons Savers is a cautionary example of what happens when cost-cutting goes too far. Number 1. Tesco Value Chocolate. Tesco Value lands at the bottom of our list for a reason that is hard to ignore. Ingredient panels and taste tests tell the same story. The first thing you will find on the label is sugar, not cocoa. In fact, the cocoa solids content is just 14%, the lowest among major UK supermarket chocolate bars. For comparison, most mid-tier chocolates hover around 30% cocoa, while premium bars start at 40% and climb from there. Here, cocoa is almost an afterthought, buried behind sugar, vegetable fats, and a catch-all entry for flavorings. The numbers are blunt. Each 100-gram bar contains 58 grams of sugar. That means well over half the bar is pure sweetness, with cocoa playing a background role. Instead of cocoa butter, the fat comes from cheaper vegetable oils, which change the way the bar melts and feels in the mouth. The result is a texture described by reviewers as plasticky or greasy, with none of the clean snap or creamy melt that real chocolate delivers. Artificial flavorings do not help either. They mask the absence of real cocoa depth, but leave a lingering synthetic aftertaste. Blind taste testers have singled out Tesco Value for its lack of character. Comments range from tastes like sweetened candle wax to almost no chocolate flavor at all. The overwhelming sweetness hides any trace of cocoa, while the bar's texture leaves a film that is hard to wash away. Multiple UK consumer panels have ranked it at the bottom for both flavor and mouthfeel, with which regularly placing it last in side-by-side comparisons. The price is the lowest you will find on the shelf, but the trade-off is clear. Tesco Value chocolate is engineered to hit a cost target, not a quality standard. The blend of high sugar, minimal cocoa, artificial flavorings, and vegetable fats makes it the clearest example of what happens when every corner is cut for price. For anyone who cares about real chocolate flavor or texture, this is the bar to avoid. B-roll shows the Tesco logo and Tesco Value packaging while this is discussed. Across all 10 brands, one pattern stands out. When cost-cutting meets mass production, quality is the first casualty. The UK chocolate aisle is filled with products that prioritize shelf price over real cocoa and taste. That is not just about flavor. It is about what we accept as consumers. In chocolate, as in life, you really do get what you pay for. We will display the correct brand image for each product as this plays. Let us know your go-to chocolate brand below. If you found this helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more honest, entertaining reviews.